Hello students. So in the previous class of this chapter, we learned about the modes of asexual reproduction. So we came to know about the 6 modes of reproduction, that is spore formation, budding, fragmentation, fission, vegetative propagation and regeneration. So we had learned about the 6 modes of regeneration, 6 modes of asexual reproduction. In today's class, we will discuss about sexual reproduction. So first of all, what is meant by sexual reproduction? So sexual reproduction, it's very simple. So the reproduction means already we know giving birth to their young birds. So reproducing new organisms. How? By the fusion of both male and female gametes. So in asexual reproduction, we saw that only one single parent will give birth to their young bird. There will be only one single parent. There will be no separate male and female. Within a single individual, there will be both the male cells and the female cells which will fuse within the same body of a single organism which they will give birth. Okay, but whereas in the asexual reproduction, it involves the two different individuals fusing together to give birth to their young birds. So here the male gametes will get fused with the female gametes. Now gametes are nothing but the sex cells. Okay, so it's the fusion of sexual reproduction is nothing but the fusion of male and female gametes. So gametes are nothing but the sex cells. Okay. So here is the fusion of male gametes. So male gamete will fuse with the female gamete. Together they will combine to form a zygote which later on develop into a child. Okay. So it's nothing but the sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction means reproducing new generation by the fusion of male and female gametes or by the fusion of two separate individuals as male and female. So in this sexual reproduction, we will see two sub-concepts in this. First is why the sexual mode of reproduction. Now we will see why. That means here we will see the importance of reproducing sexually. That means the importance of sexual reproduction. We will see here. So afterwards, we will see the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So first we will discuss about the importance of sexual reproduction. Afterwards we will discuss about the how sexual reproduction will happen in the flowering plants. So previous class we discussed about asexual reproduction. In today's class we will discuss about sexual reproduction. In that we will discuss about the importance of sexual reproduction. Later on the process of sexual reproduction in flowering plants we shall discuss now. So listen carefully and note down all the points.
Introduction. As we have already discussed that reproduction is the ability of all organisms to produce young ones similar to themselves in most of characters. Yes, Madhuri, and the process which involves fusion of male and female gametes to form a new individual is known as sexual reproduction.
Significance of sexual mode of reproduction. Sexual reproduction promotes diversity of characters in the offspring. It results in new combination of genes brought together in the gamete, and this reshuffling increases genetic variation. It plays a prominent role in the origin of new species of combining DNA from two individuals during reproduction. You can see the process. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In the early stage, the plants are just leafy or in vegetative phase, and when they grow and reproduce or are in reproductive phase, the flowers are born. Therefore, we can see that flowers are the reproductive part of a plant body. The flower. A flower is brightly colored reproductive part of a plant. The stalk of flower is called pedicel. Swollen flat tip of pedicel forms the thalamus. The 4 types of floral leaves, sepals, petals, stamens and carpel appear from thalamus. See the structure? Sepals and petals are non-essential parts of a flower for reproduction, while stamens and carpels constitute the essential parts of a flower and contain the germ cells. Sepals or calyx are green and form the outermost wall of flower. Petals or corolla lie next to sepals. They are usually colored to attract the insects for pollination. Stamens or androecium are next to petals. Each stamen is made up of stalk-like filament and flattened knob-like anther. Anther bears pollen sacs which produce pollen grains. Stamens represent the male part of the flower. So do remember this. Stamens are the male reproductive part of a flower. Carpel or gynoecium is the female part of a flower and forms the central part of a flower. Carpel shows basal swollen ovary, middle elongated style and upper knob-like part called stigma. Ovary bears ovule which are converted into seeds. The fruit encloses and protects seeds. Now we shall see what are seeds. Seeds are matured ovules. Seeds contains an embryo and reserve food which is used by developing embryo at the time of seedling formation. A mature seed is made up of two important parts, that is seed coat and embryo. You can see the structure here. Seed coat is hard layer which protects the internal parts of a seed. Embryo is made up of radicle, plumule and cotyledons. Radicle forms young root and plumule forms young shoot. Seeds are monocotyledons when they have one or dicotyledonous when they have two cotyledons. Seeds may be endospermic when they have endosperm or non-endospermic when they do not have endosperm. Now let us see an activity. Let us conduct an activity to clearly understand the structure of a seed. We will soak few seeds of Bengal gram and few seeds of maize and keep them overnight. Next day morning, we will drain the excess water and cover these seeds with wet cloth for a day. Next day, we will cut open both types of seeds into halves. We observe that Bengal gram seed has seed coat, radicle, plumule and two cotyledons, while maize seed has seed coat, radicle, plumule and one cotyledon. Unisexual flowers. So flowers that bear either stamen or pistil are called unisexual. Example, papaya, watermelon. Bisexual flowers. Flowers that contain both stamen and pistil are termed as bisexual or hermaphrodite. Example, pea, hibiscus and mustard. Neuter flowers. Plants in which flowers lack both stamen or pistil are known as neuter. Example, mango, cashew. Monoecious and dioecious plants. Plants that bear both types of unisexual flowers are called monoecious plant. Example, maize, cucurbit and castor. Plants that bear one type of unisexual flowers are called dioecious plants. Example, date palm, mulberry. Now let us see the functions of a flower. Flower bears male sex organs called stamen and female sex organs called carpel. Flowers is a part of the plant that takes part in sexual reproduction. Ovary matures to form fruit and contains seeds. What is meant by inflorescence? Flowers do not always occur singly. The flowers, which are small in size, often occur in cluster and it is called inflorescence. An axis bearing a cluster of flowers is known as inflorescence. It may be terminal or axillary. Cauliflower is a very good example of inflorescence. Pollination. A new seed of the plant is formed when male gamete present in a pollen grain unites with female gamete present in the ovule. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of a stamen to the stigma of a carpel. Do remember this definition, student. The pollen grains are transferred by many agents such as insects, birds, man and water. So pollination is of two types, namely self-pollination and cross-pollination. So when the pollen grains from anther of a flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower or another flower of same plant is known as self-pollination. That when the pollen grains from anther of a flower are transferred to the stigma of another flower of another plant of same species, it is known as a cross-pollination. Now let us see the fertilization process in plants. After pollen grain falls on stigma, the next step is fertilization. Fertilization is the fusion of male and female gametes to form a zygote. During sexual reproduction, this happens in the following steps. When a pollen grain falls on the stigma of a carpel, it bursts, opens and grows a pollen tube downwards through style towards the female gamete in the ovary. Two male gametes are formed in pollen tube. A male gamete moves down the pollen tube and the pollen tube enters the ovule in the ovary. And the tip of the pollen tube bursts open and male gamete comes out of pollen tube. In ovary, the male gamete of pollen combines with the nucleus of female gametes or egg present in ovule to form a fertilized egg called zygote. After fertilization, the zygote divides several times to form an embryo within the ovule. The ovule then develops a tough coat and gets converted into a seed. The seed is the reproductive unit of a plant. It contains a future embryo which develop into seedlings. So what is ovule? A minute structure in seed plants containing the embryo sac and surrounded by the nucleus which develops into a seed after fertilization is called an ovule. It consists of three parts, namely the integuments, that is forming its outer layers, the nucellus or megasporangium, and the megaspore derived female gametophyte or megagametophyte in its center. The megagametophyte, also called as embryo sac in flowering plants, produces an egg cell or several egg cells in some groups for fertilization. After fertilization, the ovule develops into a seed. What is syngamy? One of the male gamete fuses with egg to form diploid zygote. It is called syngamy. Triple fusion. Second male gamete fuses with secondary nucleus to form primary endosperm nucleus. This is called triple fusion because three nuclei are involved in the fusion process, one male gamete and two polar nuclei. Double fertilization. The process of fertilization, which occurs twice in the same embryo sac at a high time by two male gametes, that is syngamy and triple fusion, is called double fertilization. Now let us see some interesting point. Pollination by birds is called ornithopily. In hydrophilous flowers, pollen grains are light but covered with wax. Edible pollen are produced by Rosa, Magnolia and Clematis. Zostera bear longest pollen about 2500 meter long, while smallest pollen is of Myosotis about 2.5 to 3.5 meter long. Erythrina is pollinated by crows and squirrels. Hay fever is caused due to allergic reaction to the presence of pollen in air. Parthenogenesis is defined as development of egg without fertilization. It's 1 mark question, very important. Process of fruit without fertilization is called parthenocarpy. Now let us summarize what we have learned till now. The reproductive part of a higher plant are located in a flower. Stamen is the male reproductive part of a plant, whereas carpel is present in the center of a flower and it is the female reproductive part. Carpel is nothing but the ovary, students. The transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is called pollination. Pollination is of 2 types, that is self-pollination and cross-pollination. The ovary ripens to form a fruit. The fruit dehisces to release the seeds. And each seed contains a future plant and on germination produces a new individual.
Okay students, so that was about today's class. In the next class we shall continue this chapter with the sexual reproduction in human beings. Okay, thank you.